Going to be dealing with stress, anxiety, and trauma in the body. We're going to be talking about kids and kids on the spectrum and how to help them today. We have some special guests coming up today, specifically around the kids and the kids program. Super excited. Today is the 3rd of November, and it is step 10. Step 10 is a manifest day. So today is a day that's charged full of things that you want or don't want that you're sorting in your life. Looking forward to seeing everybody. Come on in, give me a bunch of likes, hit that like button, and down here, press that little button right there and send it off to a friend, send it off to someone else. Send it to yourself, send it to your wife or your husband or your partner who's at work. And it just tells the algorithm that we're serious and that we're moving forward. Okay, so what are you guys feeling today? Have you guys been feeling any help? Well, we already got it. Any help with neuropathy? Absolutely. Where does unworthiness in relationships come from? Whoa, can stroke happen due to dehydration? Wow, okay, these are good questions. Uh, where does unworthiness in relationship come from? Put down in the comments where you're from. I'm taking a new softer approach, if you hadn't noticed. Little less fiery out there. Not sure if that's exactly where I want to go, but
Oh, oh,
hey, how you
how you
doing?
doing? Very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. What's your
My
name?
name's Mike.
Hey, Mike. And Mike, where are you from?
I'm from outside of Boston, Massachusetts.
You know, it's funny. Out of the United States, Massachusetts opens more of our content and emails than any other place, including California.
Oh my gosh, no, that's great. Hey, I believe we might share the same birthday. I'm
When
December 19th.
I'm the 20th, but do you know your degree?
Um, I don't. I know I'm a
You
Sagittarius,
got to check your
and
degree because you could be a 29 degree. You're either a 27, 28, or 29.
okay. Let me write this down. Check my degree.
Well, actually, tell you what. Are you buying a computer as well?
I'm not. Actually, wait. No, I can be. I'm stoked to be on this call. I
Yeah,
kind of
because
tapped into.
why don't we find out your degree and then because you had a good question. Where does unworthiness happen in relationships? And
Yeah,
let's dig into that. I mean, the astrology will tell us because unworthiness, a lot to do with your Chiron, and that's the feelings that you. So go to astro.com.
yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm kind of. It's funny. I'm asking it for me, but I'm also asking it for um,
A friend.
you a friend, a recent lover that I've been with, and
What
yeah,
was
life's been.
her birthday?
What's that?
What was her birthday?
February 3rd.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you both know how to detach from your feelings.
Yeah, dude. Oh
She's
my
just better. She's
God.
just better at it. She just will go completely cold,
Yep.
drop off, and then won't give you the emotional response. Whereas your fire wants to like, I want to deal with this right now. I want to put the fish on the table.
Dude, my fire gets in the way of a lot of things. And yeah, I actually do practice body work. I actually work in the food industry. I'm like all over the place with a lot of my interests.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
typical
yeah,
Sagittarius. That's why I
dude.
want to see your. That's why I said your degree. So go to astro.com.
Let's see. I'm actually logging in now. I actually just turned on my Wi-Fi. I kind of use my Wi-Fi as like a light switch. I'll like turn it on and off because
That's a good thing to do. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, because it's you got enough bombardment, especially you're living in urban suburban areas.
Oh gosh, absolutely. And hey, I wanted to shout you out and just say, thank you for doing what you do because a lot of your maneuvers, some of the body work that I do and a lot of the self-care techniques that I do, some of the stuff that you've done, like I do on myself and like without even finding you before, especially a lot of the like diaphragm releases. I feel like it's also part of my Sagittarius likeness that gives me pain back here or in my diaphragm, or if I'm nervous. It's like all right under here, like
Yeah,
all the time.
those are
So,
your organs. So the nervousness is your desire against your fear on your left side. On
mhm.
your right side, it's your fire trying to go on. It's your action, and that's your liver. So
Right.
these and the reason why fascial maneuvers are free to the world
Yeah,
is because these are natural organic things. Like you have the same body I have. And
absolutely.
when I found out how easy it was to fix the body, I'm like, oh, hold on a second here. I can't own this. This is something that everybody in the world has to have access to. It's an education. It's a truth about who you are, who we are as a species.
Absolutely. I feel that, and it's funny, Gary, because since I'm interested in a lot of things, my mind will tell me like, oh, like not everybody's tuned into their body. You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to get through to everybody? It's almost like I have this extreme desire to convince everybody to get into their body.
So that's why I want
And
to look at your astrology.
dude, yeah, okay, so we're logged in here. So what's the site again?
Astro.com. Here's
Beautiful.
another December 20th that just popped up here. Debbie Griffiths.
Oh wow, okay. Oh whoa, all right, here we are. So we're gonna go to Sagittarius. Oh, this is pretty
So we
cool.
just go to run my natal chart, run my chart.
Okay,
My app
let's see.
might be on the
Yeah,
top, and then
yeah. Thanks for bearing with me. So run my chart here. Um, let's see. Wow, this is a pretty packed website. That's cool.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It's a little cluttered. They could use some redesign.
They could use some maneuvering.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Run my chart.
Yeah, the site for people asking, it's astro.com. If you haven't run your chart, go run your chart right now, and we can talk about it. Debbie is yeah, she's 1220, but the calendar year and astrological date are not the same because calendar years we have this leap year thing, so it changes every year. That's what
Right.
keeps us confused. That's why it keeps us from really learning ourselves.
Okay, so create a enter birth
Yeah.
data. Okay, cool. Beautiful.
Hey, Dr. April.
That's beautiful. Okay.
Put your first and your last name, then you enter in where you were born. You know the time?
Yeah, I do
Perfect.
actually. Yeah.
Three
I
seven Pisces here. By the way, Pisces, we have first, second, third, fourth, all here today.
well.
Yeah, we get a Pisces storm here today.
Oh yeah, that's my mom. She's a
Oh,
Pisces.
when's her birthday?
March 10th.
March 10th. So she's
Yeah.
an 18 or 19 degree.
Yeah. She doesn't say much, but when she has something to say, it always moves me.
There's tempo to lifestyle. Your dad was a 29 degree Sag, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know what your dad feels like. I guess so your dad's passed away, I guess.
Who, me?
No, there's so many, they're commenting, everybody's commenting right now.
Yeah, no, but that's for me. My dad was actually a Taurus, April 21st, and he actually passed away when I was 10 years
Oh,
old.
so he's a 28 or 29 degree Taurus. If
Yeah.
he could be 28 degree, which make him a grandmaster, or a 29 degree grandmaster.
Yeah, I mean, he would try to master everything in his life when he was around. So, okay. Well, we got some data here.
So it'll say sun sign,
Mhm.
it'll say sun, and then a degree, and then Sagittarius.
Yeah. So, yep. So, sun sign, it says 27 Sag,
Okay,
40,
okay.
14.
So you're 27 degrees. So basically, the reason why you're so fiery
Mhm.
is because 27 is the degree, is the grandmaster degree for Aries, which is the liver, which is anger, which
Yeah.
is action and leadership.
Mhm.
And a lot of leaders are 27 degrees. A lot of people who lead,
Yeah.
and like one of my just somebody who's closer to me. She's Jennifer Beals from Flashdance, or
Mhm.
L Word in your generation,
Mhm.
TV show. She's a 27 degree Sagittarius. So they're usually rise to the top of whatever you do, but 27 degrees means at some point in your life, in another state of awareness, call it a past life, whatever you want to call it, you were a war general.
Wow.
Yeah. Which would mean in this world, you would have those tendencies to want to go to battle. And
Hmm.
that's part of it. Now, what does your moon say underneath it?
Yeah, so my moon is a 21, it looks like Aries, 40 to 26 degree.
Okay, so I'm a 21 degree Aries in
Oh,
my,
wow.
so your emotions and my ego are the same. So the thing is, my ego gets pretty fiery. Like it has a lot of fire in it, and that's contributing to yours. So I have a Capricorn emotions, which lets me calm them down, so I can stay from busting unless somebody close to me pushes me over the edge.
Sure.
But that means that you're again, that's a 21 is a grandmaster step for Sagittarius, and Aries is back to the liver on this side. You said you feel it a lot through here.
Hmm.
That's your right side. So when
Absolutely.
you feel it in your right side, that's yours. And the 21 is Sagittarius, which is Sagittarius is the student, the adventurer, the learner, the teacher, and then
Hmm.
Aries is the leader and Aries is the leader and the warlord.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and that means that you also have rules for your emotions. Like when I feel
Yeah.
this, I do this. So you have boxes that you put emotions in so that you can function. Otherwise, that fire comes up too much.
Yeah, and it's also interesting because of that. When I was really young, well, when I was like 15, 16, 17, I actually was like medicated on Adderall, like Adderall XR when I
Yeah,
was in school because I was always so like trying to connect with everybody, trying to take the lead through humor, through anything. And I've been off that for so many years. And honestly, I've been trying to, like, in a way, I feel like the side effects of that medication made me feel like I had to compartmentalize a lot of my feelings. Having a single mother and having to be a leader kind of in my household at such a young age, like also probably affects my abilities and with my emotions too. So,
yeah.
and that's the thing. I feel that within myself.
When did
Like
your dad
the
pass? How old
I
were
was
you?
10 years old. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. This is gonna get
And
interesting because your dad passed in your Taurus year.
wow, dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
in February actually.
yeah. There's no
February.
doubt about
Yeah.
that. So that means that in the way I look at it, your dad was there karmically to teach to facilitate what you needed to do is to manifest the what you needed in your life, which was from that point on you had to become the leader.
Hmm.
You had to become the man of the house in a way,
Hmm.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Are
I
you an
struggle.
only child
I
or
am. Yeah, I'm an only child. Yep.
okay, all the
Um,
way down to your it says ascendant or AC on the left hand side on the bottom.
yeah, left hand side. Yeah, AC. Yeah. So it says 27. I think Libra. LIB.
Okay,
02.
so your ego, this is where it is. Your ego actually is the thing that calms you down.
I think so.
Yeah, for most people's ego, they're fighting their ego. Your ego is the one. Normally, the ego's in the dark, the dark wing thing on the shoulder, going, "You can do it." Your ego is going, maybe we should take a little bit of balance here, which is good. That means that you have all this fire
Yep.
in you, and you have all this
Mhm.
leadership in you, and your ego is seeking to balance it. Egos are very strong because they
Sure.
control narrative.
Right. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
there's one on the bottom of that chart says Chiron.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I see that. Yep. Yep. So it's 29 Libra, 2 degree, 56 degree.
Okay, so you're a grand master in your Chiron, and Libra is all about bringing balance. So basically, first of all, everything happens in your life at the last minute. You stress
Hmm.
out about it
Hmm.
constantly. It always works out, and
Hmm.
the amount of and as you learn that it always going to work out anyways, whatever the situation is, then you can stress out. You can stress out a little less between now and the time it happens. So that's
Right.
your mastery is to find out. So, so you are given an Aquarius as a relationship partner without knowing the rest of her chart, and that Aquarius is very can has wants fairness and equality and likes to be around everything, but can shut off the emotions. and you're looking for that emotional response.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't get that, so if you don't get that emotional response, it's hard for you to judge where you are.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and what was the question again? It was like, you asked me, what was it?
I think it's just where does like okay, so she almost feels unworthy of my fire, my love, and the way I show up.
So that would be more not in her Aquarius and other parts of her chart, probably her Chiron.
Mm-hmm.
So her Chiron's probably, my guess is, if I was to look at what you've already told me about your life, your mom a Pisces, your dad a Taurus, your dad died at 10 years old,
Mm-hmm.
Pisces and Aries. If Pisces or Aries are in your Chiron, then there's a feeling that quite often that I'm not good enough, and that's part of the journey is to discover that I am good enough. So
Mm-hmm.
I've got Pisces in my Chiron and at 28 degrees, which you're like, basically what you're afraid of is you've been a grandmaster in other states. What this says to me is you're a grandmaster in other lifetimes or other states of awareness, called,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not like time is fictitious. It's happening right now. So in this one here, you're feeling this urge to live up to all this mastery that you've had in other lifetimes. And it causes this constant judging of everything that you do. Is, did I do it good enough? Did I embody it enough? Did I learn enough?
Mm-hmm.
Was I the right person? And Libra
Mm-hmm.
is, did I do it right to bring balance into this life?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's the struggle. That's probably my everyday struggle, and part of the reason, I'm so interested in so many things that sometimes I like trip myself. Like, for example, a lot of the careers I've done that where I've started from the bottom, worked my way up, and have worked to the highest level. Was stoked about that, got bored of it, and then dove into something else.
Yeah. So
Like
how
that.
old are you now?
I'm 26. Mhm.
Okay. So yeah. So you are in your decision years.
Yep.
And
Big.
next year is the year that you break out. That you're gonna, next year is a year where you're like, after this birthday coming up, you're just gonna go, oh my God, I can do this. I can do this. All these learnings are gonna start to come together, and you're gonna have a big rush of that all the way through until 30, from 27 to 30. So basically, if you think about it this way, from the way that I see it or feel it, there's different viewpoints there. The way I see it or feel it is that you come to this life, if you've got that much mastery in your chart, which you do, you've got grand mastery in your chart, and your ego and your sun sign are the same. So there's a lot of congruency. So basically, it's like the first 30 years, you get all the inputs you need to become the person you're going to become. And what you're just doing is you're going through the course of life, and that's why you're going from thing to thing, mastery to mastery. You'll have no problem in anything you want to do. And it's a matter of, for you, it feels like you want to know what the next thing is, but the reality is that it's to be open to whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because you can show up, you can learn anything, any skill, anything, any job, anything you can do well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting too, Gary, because my father, he was a business owner for his whole life, and I grew up sort of working in the business with him. So I felt like I always had to live up to that same kind of leadership quality, and sometimes that gets in the way of what I want to like. I don't know if this makes sense to you, but I have an issue working with clients because I feel like it's not warrior enough for me. Like, I work in the food industry because I feel like I can like smash and grab and like be intense. But when I do body work with people, it requires me to like slow down, but then I feel amazing after. So it's like this it's like this. How do I balance that out for myself? And I guess I'm gonna have to figure that out.
Well, part of it is right now you're wired to go fast.
Yes, totally.
So there's a spot where it's like the young cow and the old cow. The young cow wants to run down and do something. The old cow wants to walk down and do it all.
Yep.
And so what you're learning is the difference between the Sagittarius, the Centaur, the horse in you, that's just out there with the arrow, and the Aries that wants to go to war, and the warrior and the general.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what I was saying earlier, is that your sign says that you are a general in some other aspect of living. And now you're feeling, well, okay, I've been a general. But I still have to go through all the training as a warrior again. It's like you started a new job, you still have to go through the training program. Right. And you've got 3.5 more years of that training program coming at you. Oh, well, 3.25 years. So, but in other words, letting yourself off, knowing that your job between now and then is just to experience whatever you can. Mm-hmm. You will learn to slow down. If you start applying it and saying, like, the bodywork is forcing you to be slow.
Oh, Gary, I was forced into bodywork. So, interesting story. I actually, when I was 18, I moved to Berkeley, California, from Massachusetts to Berkeley. I was working in a butcher shop doing like sustainable pasture raised, like the best stuff you could find. And one of my customers noticed that I was in extreme pain. Like I had, there was an ambulance that drove by on my street. I was sitting on my couch. I like jerked my neck right over to look at it. And it just locked my shoulder right up, locked my neck up, and just like totally screwed me up. And I was at work, working through the pain, taking ibuprofen, because that's what I did back then. I don't do any of that now. And she just like pulled the toothpick out of her mouth and was like, Mikey, like, what's up? And like she saw it, like she saw what was going on with me. And I like never got a massage before, never had body work, never heard of fascia. I saw her and she like blew my mind. Dude, it like blew my mind how she changed my body in a matter of 2 days and gave me exercises on how to fix it myself. And that's what like hooked me into this journey, you know, if you will. So it's almost like it chose me. Like
she's still around in your life?
I haven't talked to her in a while.
But that's usually how consciousness communicates with you. At great times of need, it comes in and sets you on a new path. So it's somebody who intervenes. For me, it's been homeless people.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, like
for
homeless
sure.
people have made more impact in my life starting at 5 years old. And,
wow, yeah.
And I have this litany of homeless people that have majorly impacted my life at key points. So that was guiding you. So that I believe. Did you see that movie Interstellar? By chance?
Yeah. Oh yeah, so many times.
you know how the books keep falling off the shelf, and then when he gets into the dimensional matrix, he realizes he's the one pushing the book off the shelf. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what that kind of relationship with somebody is. Now they may be a completely different person. It may be just consciousness touching them for a minute to do something, like a homeless person telling me something. But she may be. But most likely that's what it was. It was intervention to push you in a direction.
For sure.
Because as a Sagittarius with a Libra, you learn the perfection of this. Mm-hmm. And you have a Libra Chiron and a Libra ego. So so basically the Libras can learn the intricate details. The Sagittarius is, I got this, get out of my way. But the Libra then studies and looks at all the details of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's funny how, you know, it's always interesting when two people point out the same thing. So she always used to point out to me, she's like, you need your ego. Like, she's like, a lot of people don't need their ego, but you're someone who needs to listen to it. Like,
yeah, hold on. Do you know when her birthday was?
I don't. I don't remember. I don't.
I know, man, because that's what I call an earth angel.
Yeah.
They're I mean, I was just telling you, your ego keeps you in check. Your ego is important to you, where you don't have to fight it. Your ego is the contributing factor that keeps you balanced.
Man, she'd call me out of my shit all the time, and I'd be like, damn, like, you're right. Like, you know? But hey, I wanted to ask you. So at the beginning of our call, I noticed you were touching your face.
Oh yeah.
And when you were
I just saw that. I would just see what happens is that these are my stomach meridians. My whole face is changing, which you've probably seen over the last like year.
Well, when you did that, I felt it. when you did that, this started tightening for me.
Yeah.
So I know it sounds crazy, but
No,
I
it's
feel like
not crazy at all.
I
It
have
happens
this
all the time.
thing.
We operate on the same energy. You're 20, you have a 21, your emotion, which is how your body feels, what you feel in your body, is my
Yeah,
ego.
yeah,
And then, I'm a 29-degree Sag, you're 27-degree Sag. We're like really, really close in that way.
sure,
Um,
sure.
and then you got a 29 Libra, you got a lot of mastery in it. So what I find is that the people who pop up in my life right now, a lot of them are 29s or 29s in their chart. What if I told you every single person who I had a meeting with in 18 months has had a 29 in their chart or been a grandmaster in their chart, like every single person without fail. And I'm
Mhm.
like, and I just, when I was doing this, statistically, I said, there's no chance that this is an accident.
Mhm.
There's something that was telling me, and this is what's leading me to look. Like, for example, I know that my 21 degree in my ego and your 21 degree in your emotions means that if my ego is working and it's working without judgment,
Mhm.
then you're going to feel that in your emotions, which is your body.
Right. Yeah. Feel a lot in my body right now.
Yeah,
I'm sure you could tell.
yeah.
A lot of.
There's a saying. It's like, I'll give this to you. A
Mhm.
Bengal tiger that's raised in captivity thinks it's human. Doesn't know the
Yeah.
difference. Like it'll want to sit at the table and eat if it can.
Mhm.
And then if it comes in face to face with another Bengal tiger, it instantaneously becomes wild. It loses all of the programming and training it has,
Yeah.
and because it recognizes its true potential.
Yep.
So you have a lot of mastery in your chart, and the parts of it, you're 26. I'm
Yep.
54. I'm an older master. You're a younger master, and you're just coming face to face with another master right now. So this is going to
Beautiful.
make somehow this is like that girl who said that took the toothpick out of her mouth and told you all that stuff and helped you.
Dude, and like she also, she actually took me up to Yosemite National Park and hooked me up with a gig where I was working with clients and, I had a grand time. And like during that time, I felt almost like that Bengal tiger where it's like, she was like, look what you could be, but you choose to be like this,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
And she was like, you have to,
we knew the look. I mean, you didn't do anything right or
no.
wrong. It's like when you go shopping for a new car or to buy a house or apartment. Doesn't mean you're going to buy, but you go shopping, it shows you what is available and you get to resonate with it. And they say, I do resonate with that. So she was just showing you like a menu options. That's why I said, I'm pretty sure she literally was just a spiritual guide. And sometimes people come into our lives and they're taking over. I don't know if you've ever felt like this, where you've taken over and you've gone to help somebody and you don't know why you're doing it. Like, why am I doing this? It's just like crazy.
Yeah, well, of
That's
course.
I believe when consciousness intervenes, and
Mhm.
consciousness intervenes, takes us over to create some effect in the world,
Mhm.
and we believe that it's all me, it's all us, but when we are present and open, we will
Mhm.
change and flow based upon the needs of whatever the universe is.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally resonate with that. And when I go against that, that's when I feel the most pain in my body. It's shoulder, it's
Well,
back,
for your
it's
lungs are super important.
yeah. Hmm.
Because you're Libra lungs. You got Libra in your ego and Libra. So you're going to feel balance, imbalance, fear. You're going to feel like when your ego gets up, your lungs are going to, you probably
Yeah.
notice it. Your lungs will start to go,
Hmm.
okay, slow down.
Hmm. Hmm. And I do notice that. And my biggest struggle is like breathing, stomach, like, it's always my stomach that it's funny that you pointed because it was just when you were touching your face
I
earlier.
was doing
I
it I normally don't do it on camera, but
Yeah,
I was doing it just to
I
respond.
felt
If my
I
body
felt
started doing
the
it.
same thing. I was like, oh man, because it's like, I mean, maybe it's a Sagittarius thing, but it's like, and they say the stomach is the organ of fire, possibly.
Sagittarius is stomach, which is number 3,
Hmm.
which is the color blue,
Hmm.
which is
Right.
the planet Jupiter. Sagittarius is the story which repeats every 12 years.
Hmm.
So, so your story went to 12 years and then to 24. So if you go back to when you were 14, you're in the same thematic story as when you were 14.
Whoa.
So at 14, you were doing some changing in your life. Like thematics is like I'm having a problem in a relationship, or I'm going on a new career, or a new venture, or I'm questioning something, or I'm starting something. So when you were 14, you're at the same level right now as when you were 14.
Absolutely. Interesting viewpoint for sure. And I feel all that. I definitely feel the Grandmaster challenge in me as well. And it's
Well,
exciting.
there's a whole bunch of other. I mean, I know it's hard to pin you down to one thing, but the 28-day reset and then the lifestyle artist program there's a worldwide network of people behind that.
Sure.
And there's like everything from practitioners to doctors to healers to moms to sports coaches to students that are in that program. And I think it feels like to me that the greatest thing that you could have is a bunch of people to sharpen your blades off.
Yeah.
And that would be the place to do it.
Yeah. And you know, it's interesting too, Gary, because I had a point in my life where I did have a lot of that, where I had a lot of different people that were sharpening my blade, and that's when I felt my best. And I'm also going through a time where I'm kind of very isolated. And
How long has that been? 2 years?
Probably like 3 years during COVID. You know?
So that's 2020. That was a turning point. And you probably had like between May and August in 2019, right before COVID, that summer, you probably had some sort of awakening or life-changing events or something.
Absolutely did. Yeah. Absolutely. In many ways.
So we're just on the same path.
Yeah.
You know, there's only so many paths we're going from A to B. A to B is the same for all of us.
Right.
There's only so many roads that get us there. And each road has, you know, national parks, it has gas stations, it has food stops, it has hotels. So eventually we're just going to the same place.
You know, it's interesting too, Gary, because did you ever feel in your life when you were younger, maybe my age, like imposter syndrome? It's almost like
all the time.
People come to me all the time, hey, like, what should I eat? And I'm like, listen, I'm not an expert, you know, but
feeling your mastery.
They're like, what do I eat? What do I do? How do I fix my body? What do you think about this? And then my ego feels, the lungs feel big. I feel great. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, like, I don't really have like a degree. Like, but I know that that's programming too. Like,
it's all programming, because at the end of it, you have the experience, or everything we do in this life is a feeling, which we validate with some sort of logic. We're not rational. We're irrational creatures.
Yeah.
And we use situations or logic to try and validate why we feel rational.
Right. And to be real with you, my Aquarius lover over there somewhere, she would almost get furious with me that I wouldn't act upon my grand mastery. Like,
that's part of it right now. That's part of the journey. It's how you know to do it later on, is you have to not do it now. So everything you're doing right now for the next 3 years, 3 or 4 years, is just, you're in your university years. You're writing your PhD and your thesis on how it's done, and that's all it is. So have fun a little bit. You know, like, don't take it too seriously, because you're every response, everything that you need in your life is going to be brought and presented in front of you. Like, you already made the plan. Your astrology says that you're already going to do it. So just take the stress off and enjoy it. Like, you're going to college.
Yeah,
and you're graduating with a PhD, no matter what happens.
I stress myself out. Like, that's the problem. Like, you're making me laugh right now. This is great, because it's all been up here, and now I feel like it's sort of down here now, and not in here. I get 2 in here.
That's why we're talking today. So, like I said, old master, young master. When I was your age, I still had to prove everything to the world. When I was your age, I had a 600-person company approaching. I was going to be 40 under 40. I was doing about 40 million in revenue, had 2 kids. I mean, I grew up in a different world too. Like, it's like, if you didn't have kids and house and career by the time you're 21, there's something wrong with you. When I grew up.
For sure, I get that. Oh my gosh, yeah. Now it's like, man, I have an apartment and I'm happy. You know?
So listen, let's do this. Get in the 28-day reset. Go through.
Yeah,
It's on our website. Start there with day one. Go in that lifestyle artist program, and then we'll get a chance to hang out. You know,
yeah,
and that's only a couple months away. It's just basically that's the entry into our program. Because
sure.
when we get together in a common place, we want to make sure people have a common language
Of
and they
course.
have a common belief system. Because that's what makes it happen faster.
Cool. Well, would you say what do you think some because I do your fascial maneuvers. I do. I love them. They're amazing. Would you do you have any that would be geared towards me and kind of what I'm going through? Are there any specific ones that you think are like, hey, like hone in on me?
I think the idea is to do the resets that are constant over a period of time because your body learns through patterns.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
so if you do something different all the time, you can't. It's hard to nail down. Is that what my body needs? So there's an upper and a lower reset, which are the most general one for upper body. It does whole body then upper,
Right.
whole body lower,
Mhm.
and the barefoot sprinter routine number 2. Those ones
Okay.
are constants. If you do that, they take about 30 minutes a day, and then you can start to say, well, let me add this, let me try this, but make those your baseline for a while.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. Well, thank you. And it was really nice chatting with you. And
I look forward
I've always
to meeting you in person.
yeah, totally. I've always tried to hop on a live, and I kind of got like super nervous that I got hopped on today, and I was like, let's do it. so,
Hey,
so
one
thank
last
you.
question. What's your Saturn in?
Oh, let's see. That is a good question.
Mid part of the chart.
Yeah, it says zero Aries.
Oh, oh man, I could have guessed that. Yeah, Grandmaster Aries and Karma. So Karma
Yep.
comes through fire, a little bit of war.
Mhm.
Karma comes through structure and leadership, and you're a Grandmaster at that. So I was looking at this whole conversation, I know what your payoff is, and I'm looking for what my benefit or my payoff is in this call today, and that was it right there.
Whoa. Well, amazing. That,
Great meeting you. I look forward to
no,
meeting you in person.
nice meeting you, and thank you so much for your time.
Take care.
Take care.
Pardon? Uh, where? He's in Massachusetts. That was a really good conversation, guys. I hope you got lots from that. Yeah, that's 2 masters. That's one old master and one young master. Hey, my sun is 29 degrees Gemini. Venus is 28 Gemini. Oh my God, my Jupiter is 28 Sag. Okay, I got to talk to you. Jill S. Farrow. Farrow. Jill S. Farrow. You are exactly my opposite. My brother raised me, and my brother committed suicide. And so my brother was my father for most of my life. Well, for my life. My mother never recovered. Yeah, I get that too. My life has been repeated loss. Okay, well, as a 29-degree Gemini, I don't know how old you are right now. My Chiron is 2 degrees Pisces. Oh, you are like literally You are literally an opposite to me. So a reflection, Jill. Jill, send me your chart. If you can do me a favor, Jill S. Farrell. And if you know Jill, she's not able to come on for whatever reason. I'm trying to bring her on. Send me your chart and say I asked to see it. Um, I know you could use some help, but Jill, the first thing is to start taking care of your body, and it's take care of your brain. So the upper reset for a Gemini is super important. Add the wrist release and the hand release. Just start doing those twice a day. Within about 2-3 weeks, Jill, you're going to be a completely different person. Okay. Let's see here. Natalie Molina. Jill Esfaro. Yes. Oh, you weren't even following me. Whoa, you're coming at the last minute, Jill. Things are changing. So send me your chart and we'll talk. um, Western astrology, like tropic or Ayurvedic. Listen, what I found is Vedic or tropical. you have to just follow a system because they actually have different definitions for what like a Capricorn means as compared to a Sagittarius, for example. So they're both right. I find that Vedic has more opportunities for conversation, but I don't use astrology that way. I use astrology as a way of communicating the numbers. I look at astrology as we are a fluid adaptive biological computer. So this computer has a hard drive, it has a processor, it has a display screen. It takes information in, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. And so I look at the astrology as numbers on how the energy comes. So the energy comes to the planet each day. My computer programmed with my apps and my operating system and my year are going to respond differently than your brand new one or your different apps. So for me, it doesn't matter. And what I've learned is that it doesn't matter whether you use tropical, it doesn't matter whether you use Vedic. If you can relate it to the human body, which I'm an expert in the human body, and I know astrology in the body. So I know how the body in different astrological signs respond to energy. That's more important because the body responding to energy tells me what I do with my life or how people are going to deal with their life. So it's not just a theoretical thing. Like I know that when the moon is in Aries and you have an Aries moon, I know what's going to happen in your body. Or and it doesn't matter whether you're tropical, because if you go to Vedic and you say it and you read me the definitions, I'll still tell you from the body. So I'm an expert in knowing what this is. I can relate this cipher to any spirituality, any way of measurement, because that's all they are. They're just ways of measuring the responses and actions and reactions on a human being. So again, I don't buy into which one is better because neither of them is better. Why can't I bring pictures up? That is so weird. Hey, Keith in Lions Bay. Okay, let's try Mina Nawabi. Guys, if you guys want to go live, you got to make sure that your Instagram is updated. And you also got to make sure that you can go live yourself. Because if you can't go live yourself, then that means your mic or your or your camera is not going to let you do that. Hi, Kyla. Wave. Okay, looks like that person's not going to go live either. Purple Sunshine, India. Okay, let's try that. Purple Sunshine, India. What's happening in my body? 09, 20. Oh, you're a master level Virgo, probably a 28 degree. Or, yeah, so what's happening in your body? It depends on where you are in your journey, Lisa. If you have been taking care of your body and doing fascial maneuvers and hydrating and stuff like that, you're just detoxing. If you're not taking care of your body, you're getting lessons because you embody everything in your lessons at a master level. From 2019, the summer of 2019, from May to August or May all the way through to the pandemic, basically. The day before, you probably had a cathartic, life-changing event like the gentleman before, and you're in the process of integrating whatever that is. So you're a master. You're meant to help the world. That means your journey is just beginning. 64, so that makes you 50, 55 or 56. So yeah, you're coming up to your second Saturn return. Hi, Jude. Another 29 degree Gemini. Jude, there's another 29 degree Gemini in there. A little earlier up in the chat. Do you have a suggestion for astrology reference? Yeah, actually, if you really want to learn astrology and your chart, the best way to do astrology is just a way to have a conversation with somebody or to understand and explain the world around you. You don't have to become a PhD in all the, like everybody tries to know everything. But I've had people that know everything about astrology and can't have a conversation and put it into practice. That's actually the majority of people. So if you go to our products and partners page, you can go to Serious Joy. And Serious Joy, you can sign up for $3.99 for the first month. And you can do the 40 days of truth and purpose. Now we're in step 10. So you can do today's step and go back and do step 1. then tomorrow do 11, and then go back to step 2, and then catch yourself up. But it will teach you more about how you relate to the world than anything I can imagine. Solo Genesoy, what do you want to go live about? Solo Genesoy. I think I got camera and mic fixed now. Okay, let's try this. Jill S. Faro. Or Farrow. Ruby Jean. Hi, Jill.
Hey, Gary. Sorry, I was slow
You're my
on the
opposite.
chat.
You're my opposite.
That can be cool too.
Which is your left side?
Which is my left side?
Yeah. So what's your left? Put up your left hand. Okay.
This is my left. This.
Yeah, just looking because the camera can change it around. So.
Yeah. Okay. This is
Okay.
left.
Cool. Yeah. So Jill, actually, you have an unusually non-Gemini face and head. You have more of a Sagittarius face and head.
Huh. Don't know.
Do you have long fingers?
Not particularly small hand.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. See, like I got a small hand too. So you're like a pair opposite to me because I'm a 29-degree Sag, and you're also 29 in your moon, right?
I think so. Yeah. I'm kind of new to the astrology stuff, but my moon is a 20 Taurus.
Oh, 20 Taurus. Okay, so your emotions, yeah, you have this tendency to want to be a caregiver to everybody, emotionally. Yeah. But your Gemini brain is like, okay, I want to be a caregiver, but now I want to do something else.
So, no doubt my brain is, I'm interested in a bazillion things. I chose a professional career so that I could support myself and my family because my mother proved to be grossly incapable of that. And I decided I would not make the mistakes that she had.
What kind of career, out of curiosity?
I chose finance and accounting as the education so that I could use that however I needed to.
So corporate finance, like public company kind of?
I did senior roles in banking. I made investments in Community Reinvestment Act eligible investments in affordable housing and energy credits, that kind of stuff.
Humanitarian projects. Yeah.
Humanitarian projects is where I took it. Yeah, and then also I took a job in a health insurance company where I worked on the membership side, and within a very brief period of time, I was made the vice president of the membership services division. So ended up in leadership roles in 2 different industries in which I didn't have background at the time.
Yeah, well, you're a brainiac, and you're also 29 degrees. So 29 degrees, you embody everything about what you do. And people think that you go to school to get smart. Like Geminis are smart, but as a 29 degree, you're smart and you embody it. And embodying the smartness is what makes you good and makes people recognize the greatness. Because otherwise it's just like, okay, I'm over here, now I'm over here. But you're definitely it probably would have got pretty rough for you just before the pandemic in the spring and summer.
Actually, that's when I was making choices to, if you will, ground myself.
Sure.
When I was previously in my career, I've actually been downsized 4 times because those are industries at my age where there was a lot of merger and acquisition.
How tall are you now then?
No. I mean, professionally in my career, I've always been a small body, large spirit person. But what I'm trying to say is when I was laid off from work the first time, I chose to enroll myself in bodywork. I attended the East West College of the Healing Arts to earn a degree, if you will, and become state and nationally certified as an LMT. And then right before I was completing that field of study and sitting for my boards, my husband left me and filed for sole custody and possession of our child. So, the carpet pulled out from under me.
Yeah, but those carpet pulled out from under you are the life lessons that make you who you are.
Yeah. Oh, it worked out fine. I ended up not entering that field, if you will, because I needed to heal myself. But that's exactly what that education gave me, was the opportunity to heal myself. And I went back into finance to support myself, which is why I'd gotten that career, right? So I was able to fulfill my real goal of raising my daughter by supporting myself and her. She is a March baby, so she's at the very end of Pisces.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Grandmaster Pisces. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I met Cynthia's a Pisces, and we got all these Pisces around. Also, Aisha here is Pisces. So we're two Sagittarius, Jason and myself, and we got two Pisces as partners. And yeah, and it's that Pisces energy forces us to look at what we are really here for.
Yeah, I'm really curious about your comments about Chiron.
Well, what is
The
your Chiron?
lowest number on my chart is Chiron 2 in Pisces, and then I've got a 0 in Taurus, my Mars.
Okay, well, yeah. So you're a grandmaster in taking action, and but you just know that you can do it. Where like a lot of people are like, I gotta work up to it. You just have a. If I set my mind to it, I can do it. And
That's
and
true.
then the 2-degree Pisces, that means you are feeling. Your daughter's teaching you to feel spirit.
I would say by virtue of being a mother, I chose to feel spirit because I wanted to be for her what I did not have.
Yeah, but you could have had a daughter. You could have had an Aries daughter, or you could have had, and
Oh,
then you would have felt battle. You could have had a Sagittarius daughter, and you would have had to put a leash on her, and you go, geez, that's a side of me that I don't like. You could have had a Cancer daughter, and she just would have wanted to be all about community when you're all about career. So, yeah, like we have people come into our lives to show us something about ourselves.
and so you think she is teaching me?
She's teaching you to do the right thing, to open up spiritually, to follow the spiritual path, because she's a dreamer and a visionary, and you're like a processor. You have two minds, but you're like do. You embody. She's just like a butterfly floating around sometimes.
Interesting. I'd love you to see her chart and to think about how those two compare. We are in so many ways alike. We are both grossly idealistic and grossly practical. And our
She's there to
values.
show you yourself.
Huh?
She's there to show you yourself. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Pisces has a lot to do with Gemini. Like this is a Pisces Gemini ego. So she's a Gemini in her ascendant, which is her ego, and she's a Pisces. So Gemini's two minds. Pisces are just two lives. True. Pisces are black and white. Geminis are like, I think I want to do this. I think I want to do. They want to do it with their brains. But Pisces are like, no, I'm just going to go over here.
Yeah. My mom was a Pisces.
Oh, when was your mom's birthday?
Blank. President's Day weekend. February 22nd.
Oh, she's a baby Pisces. Yeah, she's probably a 0-degree Pisces. So basically, you're a grandmaster, and you got lots of grandmaster in your chart. So the people around you are all going to be at that level. Even the guy who delivers your stuff every day has probably got some grandmaster. It's just the way consciousness works. You have, like, if you pick up and go to China and you go to live there, eventually all those same astrological signs will come around you and support you. That's what I found. That was my practical application of astrology.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically you have a Pisces daughter because she's showing you what your mom was trying to show you.
That's a head scratcher.
Yeah.
That's a real head scratcher because I feel, if you will, in every way, and I think in every way, my life has been much more of a conscious choice of, oh my God, this is what I was raised with. This is what I saw and experienced as a child. And I don't respect that. I don't like that.
Those are the lessons that make you who you are. You haven't hit your stride yet. Your stride's coming in a couple of years. Are you 55 or 56?
A little older than that. Not by much, but a little older than that.
So at 60, You're getting ready for your second Saturn return.
Oh no, I popped 60. I'm at 63.
Okay, then you're in your take action year in this new life that you've created.
Mm-hmm.
This is which also this year might have brought up a lot of frustration or might have brought up all the things where you needed more structure. But this is your year to take action.
Interesting you say that. So I chose to leave my hometown to move to another town about 9 months before COVID hit, and settled into a smaller community in the same state. And I've been here now for about 4 years, going into 5. And this last year I decided, and it took a lot of determination, but I started a public seed library, pulling together the organizations that I joined as a volunteer, the Master Gardeners and sustainability group, to pull together those resources to make it happen. And it's been very successful.
A total grandmaster Gemini.
With boatload of work.
So, for you, the next journey for you is to stay out of your head and get in your body. And it's to embody everything, because you've got all the lessons that you need in your head in your first 2 Saturn returns. Now it's to embody those. And the way you embody those is, like, for you, it's a physical routine. Some of the things that work really well for you is like wrist, shoulders, elbows, shoulders, and hand maneuvers. Like our whole upper reset is like made for you. It's on our website. And
Thank you.
And that will start to allow you to get into your body. And then there's a 28-day reset if you feel that you're ready and it calls you. And then if you're in the 28-day reset, there's a whole host of other 29 degrees that are in there that follow this program that are in a single group. So in other words, steel sharpens steel, because I can see myself through other 29 degrees. I have trouble seeing myself through, like 20 degrees or 5 degrees or 7 degrees, but it's 29s I get. Like I get where you're at.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole concept of oppositional, I mean, one can see dark because of light. One can see light because of dark. It takes the window to see the wall and the wall to have the window. I mean, yeah, I understand.
Yeah. And you're like for you, it's getting in your body is where your power is.
Yes. That's why I went into bodywork. I knew that in my, what was that? I was the mother of a young daughter. She was in 2. And I knew that, and that's why I wanted to pursue the bodywork.
Perfect. So the tools are there. I love you to send me your chart.
How do I do that?
And then should it call out to you and you're ready, do the upper reset. Try that out for a while.
I will do it.
If the 28-day reset calls you, then do the 28-day reset. And once you're in the 28-day reset, if you're there, you let me know, and I'll put you in a group of 29 degrees.
I understand. So technically, how do I email you my chart?
Well, you don't have to email it. Just go take a screenshot, snapshot, and then go on Instagram, send it to us in a DM.
Oh, okay. Got it. DM through Instagram. That I can do. Thank you, Gary. Interesting to talk to you. Great to meet you, too. Gemini's. Yes. And Pisces. Let us be all, right?
Yes, right. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. What an interesting day. Yeah, what an interesting day. Astrology.
Turning out to be an interesting day.
Yes. Astrology.
Maybe get pulled in again.
Astrology, cause I never believed in astrology because I looked at horoscopes that didn't make sense to me. I don't really resonate with Sagittarius versus Gemini versus whatever. The degree or the numbers in it make sense to me.
You could probably help her with her husband being.
Oh my gosh, Cynthia is like my hubby that flipped Gemini moon and Pisces. Oh yeah, there you go, Jane. See, look at you got somebody else to look at now. You can learn your husband while watching Cynthia. Sun Scorpio, Moon Scorpio, Mercury Scorpio, Venus Scorpio, Jupiter Scorpio, Neptune Scorpio. Oh my
Lord is right.
Gosh. And we're in Scorpio. Like, what's your Sun Scorpio at? Sparkle Butterfly 333. I don't know if sparkly butterfly. It should be sparkling scorpion. What's your son at? Out of curiosity. Fishy twins. Okay. Okay. Let's think. Talk with her.
All right. I can talk to a fishy twin. There you
Hi.
are.
Hi. What's your name?
Lori, we've met.
Hi, Lauren.
Oh, hi, Laura. Yeah. And Lori, when's your birthday?
It's gonna be.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're coming back here?
Can you hear me?
we
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. So when's your birthday, Lori?
Uh-oh. Hold on.
And the winds of change are blowing.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay, sorry, I had to switch my Wi-Fi off. Yeah, my birthday's 3/16, and I'm also a Gemini rising at 17 degrees.
Oh yeah. So you guys, you guys are not only fishy twins, but you're 16, so that's 16, 8,
25.
Oh,
I'm a
25.
25
You're Grandmaster
Pisces. Yeah,
Pisces. Yeah, you're
yeah.
Grandmaster Pisces. She could use some Grandmaster Pisces today.
So
She's got mastery everywhere else.
where's your moon?
My moon is at 5 Libra in the 4th.
Oh, she's your mom and you combined.
Yeah.
Oh, so basically you're a messenger from the other side for her right now.
Ooh. Where's your moon, Cynthia?
Scorpio.
Oh, okay. Well, we probably have a very similar chart. We're born different years, but do you have a conjunction in Pisces?
I don't know.
My Chiron is in Pisces.
Oh, okay. Because I have Sun, Venus, and Mercury all conjunct in Pisces.
Sun,
so
Venus, and Mercury. Your
Mercury.
thoughts, your relationships, and who you are.
Yeah.
All to your intuition.
Yeah.
You have a lot of intuition.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm doing the 40 days right now, and I'm loving it. But I'm a little bit behind because I'm taking so many notes, and it's so much brain power for me. So I'm doing that in combination with a lifestyle artist program. So I'm sitting at my computer for hours every day plowing through this stuff.
Well, what is out of curiosity? So you're an LSA1,
Yes.
and what's your biggest takeaway today? From like what's changed in your life, and what's your biggest takeaway coming into the lifestyle artist program?
I feel like I finally have found my tribe. I've been interested in health. I say health and the body have been my avocation my entire life, and I picked up astrology like 5 or 6 years ago, very actively also. And so combining the physicalness of what Human Garage is with the body, plus the mental emotional component, and in the lifestyle artist program, just being, I guess I'll use the word forced to be consistent with doing the maneuvers every day, and learning and listening to the videos. And the videos in the lifestyle artist program are powerful. They're 3 hours long, and I'm taking notes from them too, but just being in that community and hearing the information just feels like I'm finally home. It really feels amazing to me.
beautiful. That's perfect. It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the information that Serious Joy has is so deep and helpful and enlightening.
Well, and it's very, very empowering because I'm super curious to see where we're going with all this information, because I know a lot. I'm 66. I've been doing astrology for a number of years. I know my chart. I know my husband's chart in a Piscean way. And, I kind of have this intuition now that I understand who I am, but I'm curious where Serious Joy, the 40 days, is going to go, because I think it's going to all come together in something that's going to finally answer some questions that I don't even know I have, I guess, pull it all together and give me a real defined purpose, and I'm really excited about it. Just really excited, and also it's very timely for me because going through the Lifestyle Artist Program, I was introduced to Human Garage on January 2nd of this year, and we met. I went up to Vancouver and we met, and I also was at Lions Bay. I don't know if you remember that, but
now
before you guys,
okay, now, okay, I get
I
it now.
totally.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It takes a minute because you look different here.
yeah, I do. I probably do. I'm still in my robe. It's I get up and I sit on the computer and listen to you for 2 hours every morning before I do anything. But anyway, I feel like I'm finally getting to a place in my life where I have the freedom and the time to really have some kind of an impact on my world with this interest I have in health. And so pulling together all of these things, I'm in this huge learning curve and just absolutely on fire. And I feel like I'm on fire inside. I'm really excited, and I'm, just wondering where it's all going to take me.
Are you on Whidbey Island or something?
I'm on Lopez Island.
Lopez Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 40 days of truth and purpose. I mean, you're Grandmaster Pisces, so there's not a single thing that's happening, and you're in your 66 or you're in your Sagittarius breakout, breakthrough, adventure, learning, education, being the student and the teacher year. So, and so this is where all the entire world's coming to a precipice, and it's going to start technically in about 8 months and 1 week, 10 days. And because we're going through like the world is going through like a match is being lit and it's dropped in the fire can right now. It's going through a flaming, and it's going to continue to go. That's why we haven't been making plans. It's because like our last two plans, we were supposed to go to Egypt. We chose not to, and then a war breaks out. Okay, we're supposed to go to Kabul. We chose not to, and a hurricane's there. So, so we're being guided right now, and that's why I said everything that's coming up in your life, every person that comes up in your life in every situation, is to put this final piece on, like you're saying. You have an intuition. That's your strength, is your intuition, because who you are, your relationships, and your actions all tied into your intuition. So that's why you're feeling that way. It's all coming to a head right now.
And the tools are showing up to allow deeper, a deepness to what you're experiencing.
Yeah, and it just the timing just feels so good. I'm super excited about that. And Gary, I also want to just say, doing the maneuvers have really, at my age and hormones and who knows what, I was starting to get very achy and kind of just stiff, and it's whatever I want to chalk it up to, but doing the maneuvers has been such a godsend. I feel so different in my body, and that also is great because when you're in pain, you don't have the energy. I have the desire but not the energy, and now I'm not in pain, and I'm that makes
working the way we see them. You might be coming out of menopause and having kids again.
I doubt that.
We have women in their 50s and 60s coming out of menopause, right?
Oh my gosh, that would be unbelievable. I have 6 kids and 12 grandkids. I don't want to do that anymore.
It seems so crazy even to me today. I mean, we take it for granted for sure sometimes that they just work, but it's such a simple, benign process, and it radically transforms and heals the human body and condition.
It's amazing. And I already had the good habits of organic and clean water and clean air. I have for almost my whole life. I've been very, very attuned to that. And it's actually been kind of frustrating because there hasn't been other people in my world that supported that. And, in the powerful way that I'm feeling it now with the Human Garage group. So, I have all the building blocks, but it was just this, and working out. I was going to the gym 3 times a week and working out, and I was feeling really good, and I enjoyed strength training or whatever, but I still was in pain. still achy and stiff, and I'm not anymore.
Yeah, it makes all the difference because the pain occupies our presence. So
Yeah,
when we're in pain, we can't be properly present, and then we have presence in moments of it. But when we're out of pain, like with general, like I've gone in and out of some painful things, but I have been out of pain since we started this process. It's the first
right.
time in my life since I was at least since I was 13. I don't even know if it was before that, really. And that's why I believe that we're having these radical shifts and transformations.
Yeah. Well, it's been super powerful. I do have a question about that. I feel like, especially at my age, I feel like and I haven't been working out now since June. I am doing the fascial maneuvers, and I listened to you talking about, I understand that our strength comes from our fascia and our healthy fascia, but what about muscle strength or continuing, to do some
I'm,
strength
I'm
training? Just,
2 to 3 times stronger than I was in my biggest and strongest condition today.
I've
I
heard you
could take a
say
grown
that.
man,
Yeah.
put him on my back, and run up a hill that's like this. I could never have done that before in any state of awareness, any condition I have, all the way back to when I was 18 years old. So the muscle is a way to stabilize the body's fascia, to stabilize the body. And the bones tell the body, the fascia where it is, the muscles stabilize the actual movement because they're more movable than the bones. But the fascia is moving. So like for example, if I wanna raise my arm and I restrict my shirt, I can't raise it because I got a restriction. I take away the restriction, I can raise it. Well, that restriction is even on the outside of my fascia out here. It's one thing, but at the bone, where yours has been programmed for like 6 decades, it's even more. So since I've seen you last, I mean, my body's leaner, stronger, and I'm not doing anything. I just do maneuvers in the morning, and when I was up in Vancouver, I basically didn't even do that just to see what would happen.
Yeah, I do notice that it's a little difficult for me to like get up off the floor. My legs are not as strong
No,
as I'd like
no,
them to
no,
be.
no, it's nothing. No, it's not strength. It's restriction.
Okay.
So get some partnered maneuvers. You have some people down around you, not too far. You have Owen, who's pretty close to you.
Yeah.
You've got some people around you. Get together and do some partner maneuvers. That'll go away real fast.
Okay. Because I am doing the CMOS and I'm doing all the other things. And by the way, I love the sweetener and I'm doing the
It's
lime
pretty
water.
cool.
Yeah, with the sweetener. I'm doing all of that, and I really, my husband makes us a little smoothie every morning with the sea moss and the diatomaceous earth, and I'm bathing in it, and yeah, I'm doing all the
Yeah,
things. So
it's we constantly are getting younger, and that's the only thing straight. And we go through these transitions. Like I'll go through a transition. If you catch me at the end of the day, I look older than the beginning of the day because I start doing work and my body moves and then it settles at night. When I stop doing work on my body for like 3 to 5 days, then all of a sudden it tightens up. Like we're molding, we're moving the fascia around, we're molding it, and
yeah,
and there's not a part of my life. I mean, I have energy. I don't have racing thoughts. I don't get anxious. I can move anywhere I want without any restriction or pain. Literally any restriction or pain. And I still have painful moments, like when I go through something. I go through a transition, but that transition always leads me to something that's even better. Like when I had something that's painful, like around the time you guys came up to Vancouver, I was having this pain in my left foot all the way up to my leg, my hip, my shoulder, and there. It was more of a tightness that was still there, that was coming out, but it showed up as pain in my foot. Well, that went away, like everything else.
so speaking of that, I broke my leg, my right lower leg in 2009 in 6 places. A tree went through my leg, and I have a huge scar on the outside of my calf, and I have a pin in my tibia, a steel rod, and there's a lot of fascial damage. I can walk, but I go through periods where I'm limping and there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of swelling, and then it goes away and it
Yeah,
clears up. And I'm just,
exactly,
can I get
because your
over that?
body's unwinding. It has to relate to everything. Everything else gets loose, and that's not. So then it feels the pain and restriction, then it figures its way around it. Just like when you have pain and you walk and your body compensates, you're walking and uncompensating.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And in my head, I know that it's like when I'm really doing like the barefoot sprinter things on my lower legs and my foot and all of that. But it seems like it's worse and it's
Harder, yeah,
hard.
yeah. You're gonna have moments. Like I said, I had no problems in my lower body at all, walking really good, and then all of a sudden my hips shift, my shoulders shift a little bit, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm on my left leg, and took me 2 months to walk through that. Now
Okay.
I could have somebody fix it right away, but my journey personally has been, I wanted to stand here in front of you and everybody else and say, no matter what, you can do this without somebody else. That means that something that could have taken me 45 minutes for us to do and work on and fix together. Sometimes I was 2 or 3 months, letting
Yeah.
my body go through it and going through the emotions of it and all that too.
Right. Right.
Hey, so partner
Okay.
maneuvers will make a big difference.
Okay. And I have one last question, and I emailed you or texted you about this. I also, over the last couple of years, have gained another 10 pounds, and I'm at this new set level. And you said it's
It
emotions.
is.
I'm, I, I feel like I'm getting a lot clearer. I'm not doing a lot of crying or I don't feel a lot of trauma anymore in my emotional body.
That's good.
Um,
Now your body
but
has to get rid of it.
yeah, that's what it is. I just
I
have to
mean, look at
wait, I
my
guess.
journey. You just look at the videos, and
I
even since
know.
you left Vancouver, I've changed.
I know. I'm watching that, and you are a really great example for all of us. I so appreciate that. I'm just wanting to do the same journey, do a similar
You are
journey.
that you are. You don't have to do anything more else. All I've done is I've eliminated everything else in my life. The only thing I do is move in natures and fascial maneuvers. I have collectively we have all chosen to eat plant based, but that's our thing.
Yeah,
And
I'm that way.
we've been remineralizing our body, which I believe now I'm still in the process. I'm still actually going, whoa, man, that changed something like recently this week. So that means that I've been remineralizing for years.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've got lots of years left. I know that. And so I'm just keeping on this journey because the rewards, there's subtle rewards and there's big rewards. And it's like you said, this year has just been amazing. Feel super grateful to have found something that supports the things that I know to be true. And I'm excited to see where it's going to go.
Yeah, you're on the this is your breakout year.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is your year.
And next year is what you love and what you believe and what you belong to. So
Wow.
you're just getting ready for it right now.
Yeah, you're just getting started.
Yay! Oh, I can't. I'm excited. Well, I'll see you guys when you get back to Lions Bay at some point, and to be continued. I'm super excited. Thank you so much.
So partner maneuvers, okay? You can go
Okay.
up to Vancouver if you have to.
Nice to see you.
Okay.
Nice to see you too.
Appreciate
Enjoy the sun. It's really cold and rainy here.
Yes, I know.
We will.
Thank you for saying all that. And it says, is this why my night sweats are getting worse? Yeah, my night sweats, they accelerated. If you are, and this is for, looks like Elise Rothman, my night sweats got worse when I started to detox. And before I was detoxing, they got worse when I was going downhill. Like when I was putting too much toxins in, my body couldn't handle it. But as I started detoxing my body, I had night sweats. And there was a point there where, like for a month at a time, I would sleep on towels in my bed because I would soak them and then change them halfway through the night. And that was just part of my detox journey. But I was holding the emotions of a lot of people working in clinic for a lot of years. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Scott. got a few more minutes before we have I told you we are going to be talking about children and parents helping the children. Sony,
Hey Gary, how are you?
good. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good.
How's Vancouver?
It's cloudy and gray as it usually is in October.
So I get to come back for Christmas,
Oh, nice.
and we're like planning our trip, and we're like, what's the shortest amount of time that we can be there to have the experience and then go?
I still love it. I love the trees. I love the lakes and the ocean. And even when it gets cold, it's a different kind of cold, right? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't get the temperature doesn't drop as much as other parts of Canada, for instance, but it like gets in your bones.
It does, because what happens is you get damp. You get slightly damp, and that dampness. I know this because when I was younger, I used to do a lot of business downtown. So walking downtown in offices, back and forth, moving around, and you get slightly damp throughout the day. And the only way to get warm is to get in a bath or a shower.
Yeah. I constantly have like a heating pad on me, like plugged in, that I sit on when I'm working or wherever, because it's like the only way I can get warm. But
So,
we'll see what happens.
what's your degree again?
I'm
You're
a 5-degree Libra.
5 degree. Yeah. So Gemini Libra. So in your mind about it. But Gemini Libra is a really powerful one. I keep saying that because Gemini's in the brain, 5 degree is Gemini, and Libra is in the body and the lungs. So basically, you have the ability to self-soothe.
That's interesting that you say that because, like in my younger years, like I remember, especially when I was in my 20s and or even before, like starting university, I had a nervous breakdown when I was like 18 or 19 because like I found out I was about to flunk all my exams because I was a straight A student in high school and I didn't actually even know how to study. And then I realized that like I was gonna fail and I was hyperventilating and my heart was pounding and it was like the scariest feeling back then. And then I had another one when I was 20, I think like 24, the same thing, similar thing, school stuff. And it was since then, I remember thinking like, I never want to feel like this again. And I started learning about regulating the nervous system using your breath and just a bunch of stuff. But I think
that led you to your power. That's what a 5 degree Libra would learn, is that the power is to regulate my nervous system, to regulate my thoughts. So that was an important lesson.
yeah.
How have you been integrating the ayahuasca?
In all honesty, like I've been having trouble meditating. Like it's something that I was told during my ceremony that I should be doing, and I remember thinking like I never want to forget this feeling, like
Then what is
what I'm
meditation?
experiencing.
It's
Like
the quietness of the mind, so that the mind can be in harmony with the body. So the best way to meditate for me, I could never sit down and meditate. I did TMD for a while, but it was like pulling teeth. So meditation for me, movement, fascial maneuvers. That's my meditation, because when I'm moving, my mind is quiet. And that's what fascial maneuvers, because when you hold yourself like this, you're not moving physically outside, but your inside is moving and repairing itself. And your job of your brain is to solve the problems of the body. So if there's little aches and pains and things going on in the body, the brain's trying to solve it.
So guess what? So since I went to Joshua Tree, that was super grounding for me. And I just restarted the 28-day reset because I think I told you before I tried and I quit. I tried again, I quit. This time I actually got the supplements. I met Equa like at the studio, grabbed the supplements. I bought celery for the juice, and I'm on day 3 today, but I'm doing it like properly this time.
Today's your belief day.
Yeah, like it feels different this time. I don't know how to explain it. Like
you're different.
The other time,
you're different. I mean, you've made a concentrated effort to make an investment in yourself, and the way you show up mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Look at I tell people all the time, the first 28-day reset, I failed. I didn't do it. I got to day 22. It was in our app for a long time, and people were following me along and doing it. And there was no maneuvers online, so they had to do it with me. And then we had it in the app, and we're putting it up, and the people go, "Hey, something's wrong. I got the day 22, and I can't find day 23." And I'm like, "Yeah, because I quit."
I just want to tell anyone who's listening, like, because I hear some people saying, like, yeah, I found out about Human Garage like a few months ago, and I'm already a lifestyle artist, and I've heard a few people say that, and I'm like, oh man, I feel so embarrassed because I met you guys like a
Years
year
ago.
ago.
No,
Yeah,
years ago, 2 years
2
ago.
years ago. Oh my God, was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Holy crap. Yeah, so and it took me this long to actually feel like I'm finally ready to dedicate myself to the 28-day reset. Even though it's not, yeah, it takes work. Like you are putting in some time, but it's not that difficult. Like
It's
the
not.
effort.
It's not. It's about it's the 28-day reset is a commitment to my body and my life to bring it all together, my emotions, my thoughts, my beliefs, my physical body. And it's like for me, like I had this weird thing where shaving hair, like cutting hair is very intimate. It's a self-caring. And when I go to somebody cut my hair, I'm like, I gotta get out of here fast. Someone would shave the hair on my back of my neck, or someone would help me clip my hair on my back, with the clipper. I used to get frustrated and agitated, and it's because it was caring for myself, and so part of the journey is learning to be okay to care for myself, and
Hmm.
that was why it took me so long to do this. I mean, the fascial maneuvers. I was thinking about it today when I was doing my maneuvers on the lawn. I was thinking, outside of bodybuilding, working out, the only thing I've ever done with consistency for myself ever in my life was fascial maneuvers.
So it's interesting because the lady that you were speaking with before, I was listening, and she asked a question that I had just regarding the going to the gym. So it's funny, I was going consistently doing heavy weight training at least 2 to 3 times a week. And then in September, before I left for Costa Rica to do the ayahuasca, around the 22nd of September, I like that was the last time I went to the gym. And for whatever reason, I haven't gone back.
You're being
Like,
called. Gyms are not natural. Listen, I came from a gym. I've been a bodybuilder my whole life. I've worked out. We weren't meant to do that. And we have, for the first time in human history, like I was a bodybuilder national level in the 80s. One decade before me was Arnold and everybody like that. Now we have, from the 70s, we've got from the late 70s, early 80s, basically from the 70s through to the 2020, we got 50 years. It's the first time in human history where we can look at a single action on the human body in society and say, was that a good action or not? Because normally we have to look back after generations. And I can conclusively tell you that the muscle that I was taught to build and what I thought I was doing with muscle was actually harmful to my system, because that's not the way we were designed. If you go back in the 50s and 60s, or even the 70s, and you look when they put the physical education program in the school system during Kennedy in the 70s, you look at all the boys and the girls. They're all lean. Nobody was overweight. They all could move really good. They all had good mental health. Nobody had ADHD. Nobody had fibromyalgia. Nobody had all these disorders. So since then, what have we done? We've been adding weight. And when I started working out, there was one gym and 500,000 people where I went when I started. Otherwise, there's my basement. And then now I've watched society do this. But look at all the old bodybuilders that were my generation. They're all like super dysfunctional or dead. I mean, like twisted. Look at Arnold walking around now. He don't look so good. I know a lot of other 70-year-olds who move their body, and they look fantastic, and they're young and they're vital, and he looks like he's got some problems coming up. With all respect, I mean, these are the people that I learned from. You know, and I was in Venice Beach in the 80s going to prepare for the Nationals. So, I mean, I was right in the thick of it. And now I look, especially young women, they're building all this muscle, especially around here. And that look of bodybuilding is dehydrated. When I take all these CrossFit women, especially CrossFit and bodybuilding, and I test them subclinically, their tests look like they have cancer because they're so dehydrated. They're trying to get lean and ripped. And now we have infertility issues. If you put a lot of pressure on the uterus, you're absolutely not going to be able to have a baby. Now the body knows if it can't carry it to term, it's not going to have it. These are all leading up to things like hormone therapy, working out, muscle therapy, staying lean.
So what you're talking about, like you're talking about, hey Cynthia, how are you?
Go get them.
They're going to be on.
Oh, okay.
They're each on their own spot.
I don't know their handles. I know one of them. Sorry, 1 second.
Sorry, Sony.
No worries.
What's the other one?
Um,
I need to know her handle. Jenna.
Jenna?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying that, like, you know, what you're talking about, like bodybuilding. I wasn't doing anything near that. Like, I'm going to
You're
the gym
building
doing
muscle.
progressive overload.
You're building muscle.
Yeah, but I'm
Muscles
scared. I guess
lethargic and heavy.
yeah, I guess it's I hear what you're saying and I've heard you say it before, but it just sounds kind of like counterintuitive or scary. Like I'm like I don't want to lose my yeah, I see that. And I was watching in the day two reset, like I saw the videos that you did. Like you look so different. Like it's crazy. It's like a
can
complete
only show you an
transformation.
example. Because
Yeah.
I'd show you in the world an example when I stood on a stage, and now I'm saying 40 years later I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay, I'm gonna test it. Like, cause
yeah,
I'm doing the reset.
reach out in the app and talk to other people because there's lots of people. I mean, you look at Kettle Buddha, he's one who's done it. But you look at a lot of the lifestyle artists who were like CrossFit athletes, bodybuilders, stuff like that, and they're all moving in this direction.
It's Jenna.
But Kettle Buddha still does the kettlebells, no?
No. And even if you do a kettlebell, he's doing it in a loaded fascial maneuver.
Interesting. Okay. And what about bone density? Like that whole thing about lifting weights and increasing bone density.
I'm at my 14-year-old body weight. I'm going to say my bones are less dense, but they're more silica based, which is more pliable, like a child.
So my mom was told that she's at risk of osteoporosis. She's like a size 0.51.
That's completely different. She needs diatomaceous earth, Irish sea moss. The osteoporosis is the body's got an imbalance between silica and calcium. Babies are more silica based. Your bones have more silica than calcium, by the way. So if you don't have enough silica, then your body imbalance comes and the bones become brittle.
So that's what I should buy her for Christmas.
Yeah, get her a bath. Yeah.
It's a good Christmas gift. Nice to see you, Sony.
Sony, I gotta run. We've got two people coming on for the parents program now.
Okay. All right. Take care.
I'll see you
Bye.
shortly.
Soon. Nice to
Hey,
see you.
it was good to see you in JT.
Just
Joshua Tree.
yeah, for sure. Okay. Bye.
Okay, see ya. Okay, Jenna. Okay, go live, and then there you go, Lauren. Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
See if this works. Jenna and Lauren, I just sent you an invite. Whoa!
Hello, hi. Long time no see.
Long time no see.
Thanks, Lisa.
Now, just so everybody knows, these two are both down here in Mexico, but we thought we'd give you a better experience rather than trying to stand here.
In the wind.
So why don't you introduce yourselves first? We go with you, Lauren.
Sure. Hi, I'm Lauren Haas-Kiker. I first came to Human Garage to the 28-day reset, and through that really just helped to settle my nervous system, reset that. And do you want me to go ahead and speak on my inspiration to be a part of the parents program?
Okay, well, I'll get Jenna first, and then.
Hi, I'm Jenna. I'm a physical therapist. I I came to this program a year ago to help my own nervous system issues, and then I work with the pediatric population, and so everything has just kind of evolved from there.
Awesome. So I'll put the container around it. So a year and a half ago, we had all these parents come up saying, I want help for my children, and there was no help. And we didn't have a program to support it. So Jason, Cynthia, and I decided to take one couple who had a child named Luca who was nonverbal, non-motion, locked up like cerebral palsy, and she was 12 years old, and they really could tell that they really wanted to do this. And so we got them and we worked through a protocol for their child. They started administrating it, and the child changed, even down to the point where at 13 years old, the child for the first time ever said, I love you to her parents. And that was a moment where we knew that there was a transition. And Jenna, you came on around then, and Lauren a little bit after that from different positions. And so we've been working for over a year with a pilot program where we train parents how to help their children. And we started off with children that have the greatest need. That was, you had to have had autistic or high dysfunction or cancer or something like that. And then Jenna came on as a physiotherapist to try to help us, along with like Dr. Aegis-san and stuff like that. And then Lauren came in as a mother, and they were so active in the group, helping everybody in the group. I mean, completely active in the group, that I asked both of them if they want to take a bigger role in this. So we are just weeks away from rolling this platform out on the Mighty Networks, and then about 6 weeks away from having it publicly available so that all parents can find a way to help their children. So starting with that, Lauren, why don't you tell a little bit about your story about how you got here and why?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I started with the 28-day reset, and then my main inspiration really stems from my two girls. I'm a blessed mother of a 5 and 7-year-old. And I have, for years, even before I became a mother, gone down various rabbit holes researching holistic wellness, just furthering my knowledge so that I could provide for my children, the most solid physical, emotional well-being as possible. And so naturally, when I found Garage, your mission of inspiring the world, people in the world with the ability to heal themselves, it aligns with mine, right? And so just with my background, Jesus tells us to serve others and to help others, to love others. And so that's being a vessel, sharing with the children, the parents, the families around the world that it's possible when you remove it's possible to heal the body is what I'm trying to say. You remove the stress, you remove the chemicals, you align the mind, the heart, the spirit, and the body, and it heals. It's a beautiful thing.
So what made you so passionate that you wanted to take the next step? And because you were helping everybody else. I
Sure.
think that's your Capricorn nature.
Absolutely. Yeah. Naturally, I love to help people. And what made me want to take the next step is just what I see from the give them the information, the healing that is taking place in these transformations. It's beautiful. I think everybody wants to share that knowledge. When you have it, you see what happens. You want to pass it on.
And then Jenna, I mean, you're a physiotherapist, but you deal specifically with high need children.
Yes. Yeah. So after I went through my own journey of going through the reset and healing my body, I thought, well, what the heck? If it works for me, let's try it on these kids. So then I started doing the work on the kids, and the results that I was seeing, it's just so inspiring. And to be able to work with parents one-on-one and just have that interaction, it's just something that energizes me. It gives me, I don't know, it just fills me up. And so this is a passion of mine, to be able to work with others. And so I can't wait to see how many people we can help, how many kids heal. I'm excited for all the stories to come in. So that's why I'm here.
What are you guys, either one of you, what are you starting to see happening in this group of hundreds of parents who have been helping? What are some of the success stories that you've seen that you remember?
Yeah, so Lauren, you want me to go?
Yeah, go right
A lot of the great things we've been seeing have gone anywhere from their child's social emotional control, right? Like them just being aware of their emotions, digestion, attention span, mobility, skin changes, hair changes, sleep. The sleep has improved. I mean, we could go on and on and on. There's just so many things that we hear throughout the group of how the protocol that we've been using has changed their child's life, but also the moms too.
And that's where, Lauren, you've been really good at sparking the moms and the dads to do something.
It's been beautiful. It's such a supportive community. It's a safe space to heal, to share. The parents really they're doing the work. Mm-hmm. And that's the neat thing is they're not having to go to doctors and drag their kiddos across the world to see various specialists. They're doing it in the comfort of their own home, on their own children.
Yeah, and Lauren, I also think too, and Gary and Cynthia, through this group, I feel like we're reminding parents of the power that they hold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love about it.
Yes, absolutely.
So most of the children that come to most of the parents and the children that come to the group, they're like the exceptional, like on the deep end of I can't be helped by the system so far
Mm-hmm.
today. But that doesn't have to be the way. Like Lauren, you've got your kids actually doing fascial maneuvers. And by the way, it's so awesome because in the morning they're doing their diatomaceous earth in a glass of water, and I get people say, "I can't drink that." I can play. And the kids are like,
they're like, "Give me more." They want more. They just drink it straight. They love it. They crave it.
But it's not just for kids with special needs. It's just that if it works for kids with special needs, it works for everybody, right?
It does. It absolutely does. I mean, my 5-year-old will come to me sometimes in the middle of the night, like all of us parents have experienced. Hey, my tummy hurts, right? And we can do the belly button and tour, or those kiddos, we get stuffy noses and the common colds that go around through schools, and there's just so many tools that we have that we can equip parents with to help their kiddos.
So how has it changed either of your lives so far? Like being in this program, what has it done for you? Because there's a lot. I mean, you guys are putting in a lot of work. This is not a paid position, obviously.
How's it changed my life?
Yeah.
The past year since I've started, the amount of contrast that I have in my life as far as what it's done, it's changed me completely. Because prior to that, when I had all my issues with my nervous system, I couldn't hold a conversation, I couldn't read, I wasn't really excited about life at all. And now I feel like I have all this passion and energy, and from what I experienced through this past year, I would feel selfish to keep it to myself. And especially when I see it with children, as a mom, like mothers will do anything for their kids. And that's how I feel about all the kids that we work with that are in the group.
Yeah. Yeah. You hit the nail on the head with that. Yeah. Absolutely. I really do. It's been rewarding. It's been inspiring. When you have tools, you have this knowledge, you can't help but want to share it with the world. You don't want to keep. I mean, there's options out there. A lot of these parents have tried a variety of modalities, and their children are still dealing with this dis-ease in their body. They're burnout. They're worn out. They tried it all.
Yeah. What do you? That's a good point. What do you see? Like, what does it look like when a lot of parents come in right now? Like, where are they at with their own child and their own issues?
We see a lot of fear in their words.
A lot of stress in their body. They're not sleeping much. Mm-hmm. A lot of the racing thoughts. Fear, like you said, fear of the unknown. What's happening?
Yeah. And is there a journey that the parents go through? Because I've noticed that a lot of parents want to fix their kids.
Yeah, Gary. Okay, so this is the part that just excites me the most. And don't realize that innate connection we have to our children. And I love to use the example because I think most of us have heard it. You get on an airplane, flight attendants tell you when you're traveling with a small child, you need to apply the oxygen mask to yourself first before applying it to your child. And we are seeing it firsthand time and time again in our parents group. When the parents are working on themselves, the child is experiencing a direct healing effect as a result of their parent.
You know, one of the things that when we started with Steph and Luca, the first thing is she was like trying to figure out a solution for her child. And we said, well, we have to meet with you and your husband. Then you have to be willing to do this. If you're willing to do this yourself, then we will give our time to help you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And Jen, in contrast to what you normally see, because you do this for a living outside of here, what do you notice is the difference between what you do at your job and what you do here?
Well, I think the difference is that the parents that we have in the group are so involved, and I don't have that. I don't see that with the kids that I work with all the time. And so the difference is that when the whole group is there and we're on one mission, things happen quicker, and we get. I mean, healing's a journey, right? We don't have a time for it, but you see changes happen rapidly versus the route that I'm on right now.
And what does rapidly mean to somebody who's looking? Does that?
So we've had people start the protocol, and within weeks, they're like, I've noticed like their hair started growing back, their stomach issues went away, they're sleeping better, they're not having, anger issues that they would normally have, like the breakdowns. So I mean, there's like things that we see right away that happen. And even with my own children, because my own children take all the supplements and we do the fascial work, and at this point now it's been like probably 8 to 10 months that they've been doing the work. Now my kids say, hey mom, give me some of that lavender, rub it on here, and then I need you to do the organ reset. So like, yes. They know by doing this with your kids, they're learning how to get in touch with their bodies, what their bodies are saying to them, what they need, without saying, mom, without knowing that there's nothing. We want to empower. The kids are being empowered by this, and so it's
absolutely same thing with my own children. Fall and hurt their knee, and they'll sit down. Their sister will come up and say, here, let me do the knee torque, and they're doing fascial maneuvers on each other, even at 5 and 7 years old. They work. They really do. And, we'll talk, I think, probably more about it later, but in the program, we have protocols for kiddos that are able to do the maneuvers themselves. I want to try it themselves. And then we also have an assisted version where the parent can perform the maneuvers on the children.
So somebody asked, can it help with severely autistic?
Oh, yeah.
We're seeing kiddos come off the spectrum with this protocol. Absolutely.
And,
yeah.
I'll mention one that there was a child that had a brain tumor on the back of the stem, on the brain stem, and it had since July it had reduced 50%. The doctor just said, whatever you do, keep doing it.
Keep doing it. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
So if you're a parent and you wanted to get involved in this program, right now we're still at the stage where we're testing with parents and children that have high dysfunction, but we're going to open it up for everybody in about 6 weeks or so. So we're going to take a list of people to get in this on a first come first served basis right now.
There's a link in the bio right now.
There's a link in our bio right now. What does the link say?
It just says parents group.
Parents group. So there's a parents group and the link in our bio. And why do we have this link up here? What is the purpose of it for people?
You want to take that, Jenna?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Lauren. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's just because we initially, as Gary said, we're going to be launching this program with the parents that are currently in our parents group, and soon after that, it's going to be opened up to the world. So if it's something that you're interested in joining this program, helping learn how to help guide your child through a healing process, click the link and sign up, and we'll be in touch with the next steps.
That's really cool. super excited about this, and thank you both. You both make a great team, bringing
Yes,
this
we
to
do.
the world. And if you're coming into these parents groups, you not only have these two to help answer questions and us, you have a whole bunch of other parents who have been through it, and that's really the most important part.
Yes.
Yeah, we're excited to see everyone in the community. So sign up.
Thank you guys both for doing this. This has been such a journey, and I'm so excited for what's happening over the next 6 weeks. This is definitely going to be the biggest program we've
It's
ever
going to
done.
be powerful and healing and fun also
It is going to
for
be.
all the parents that are participating, and honor both of you, Jenna and Lauren, for taking this on and touching so many lives and making such a difference in these little ones' lives. So much gratitude to the both of you.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you
Yeah.
both.
Appreciate you both.
Bye, everyone.
That was fantastic.
Guys, if you have a child and you're looking for work, we still have, you can get in on the pilot. And the pilot is currently in a WhatsApp group with the protocol, moving to the platform in a couple of weeks with videos and also to help children, videos with children doing maneuvers so that, because they don't want to watch us. They don't want to watch,
kids.
they don't want to watch me for sure. So, go to the link in our bio if you want to sign up. If you know anybody who wants to sign up, get in there right away. Let us know that you're interested. Send it to everybody. So if you have a practitioner that you want that works with children, then you send it to them too. Practitioners will welcome you in this group, and and then all of and then when the platform, it'll be available on the platform about 3 weeks or so, roughly in that time. Then we're going to beta it for a month. We're going to cut it off and beta it for 1 month there. Make sure we get all the bugs worked out, and then it'll be open to the world. But this is very, very, very cool, and it's happening very fast. Children are healing. Children heal so fast, especially when the parents actually do it first.
I agree. It's powerful.
Okay, so guys, we're going to end our broadcast here right now. But before you go, we have cultivate to elevate, cultivate coming on live in 2 hours.
You said it right the first time.
Yeah, cultivate, elevate. Sorry, cultivate, elevate coming on live in 2 hours, and that'll be 11 o'clock Pacific. Is 11 o'clock Pacific time, and then we also have a couple things coming up. We have a class on Saturday. It's a modified class. We're going to be teaching you modifications to help yourself. If you haven't done it yet, get inside of our community portal. It's in our WhatsApp group, and in our Mighty Networks group, and you can actually look for community events that are near you. If you are, if this lifestyle, we have 2 jobs up, but one of them is for a videographer and for a cinematographer. We need 2 social media people and one videographer. We're looking for experience, and we're looking for people who can travel, live with us, travel with us. So it's a big ask. It's a minimum of 3 months. We're looking for probably 6 months. And if that seems like it fits you, then please reach out. Go to our website under careers, I think it is, or positions, and then fill it out. We are like hardcore looking to get this done now. We've been building a system for the last year so that we can scale this, and we're ready to start scaling. So we need the help capturing content, and it's not. I've done social media at my home or on my account. We're looking for people who have some professional background in social media. We don't have to tell you how to work with the apps. We'll have 1 person per platform right now. And also, if you are a professional executive assistant and you're in our program, you have to be in our 28-day reset minimum or our lifestyle artist program. We're looking for a personal assistant for us personally, mostly me, but for us, because if it's for me, it's for us by default. So we're looking for a personal assistant, executive assistant, and a lot of it will be travel based, but it doesn't all have to be travel based. But it cannot be done from your home. It's definitely something where you have to be involved and immersed in our community. So also you can get that on our website under positions to reach out. And just to clear what these positions are. These are volunteer positions, but when you live with us, we pay for your food, your travel. You have cars when you get here. If you need stuff while you're here, everything while you're here is taken care of. but this is your way of giving up and serving. If this is calling to you, then please go out over and do that. Is there anything else I need to?
Chris Gadowski class is next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, we have an introductory nutrition class that's leading up to a 12-week program. If you're a nutritionist, this class will stimulate you. If you're brand new, this class will inform you. So, and it's free class, and it's the first of 12-part series. And this is like one of the most powerful nutrition programs. Chris Kadowski knows more about nutrition in the human body than anybody I know. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing program, and it's starting up. So so next week you can sign up for it. It's on Wednesday. Go to our events page. If you're in one of our local markets, go to our events page and you can see what's coming up for you. And again, if you want to find events in your local area, go to our Mighty Networks app and go under community events and search. And if you don't see something there, put a message up so you're looking to work with somebody in your local area or do a class. So I think that's about it. And we'll see you guys in 2 hours with Cultivate and Elevate.
See you soon.
Take
Appreciate
care.
you all. Bye.
Thank you.